Hello and welcome to My World of Crochet. My name is Tina and today I'm here with you for another yarn talk video. And as always, we cannot talk yarn without me having my faithful mug of tea here. And today this faithful mug of tea contains a lovely black tea, which is having a lemon taste. So it's a lemon tea basically. Nice fresh tea. It's a bit warm right now, so I'm not gonna sip of it just yet because I'm actually afraid of burning my tongue. I really just made it. Today's a little bit cloudy outside. It is going to be sunny later, and we are going to have like 28, 29 degrees. And that is the last bit of outburst, I believe, of the real summer. And now we're really getting into the autumn, where temperature kind of like tends to drop down a bit towards begin 20s, which is going to be more nice. For the Fahrenheit people, it's like going to be 85-ish today, dropping down towards the 70s, begin 70s, and 60s, begin 70s, which is more normal for September. And I'm getting closer and closer to my end date at my current job. As of today, I have, including today, 14 days left, 14 working days left. And the time flies, really flies fast. I do have weekends in between, but really it's almost around the corner. And I am looking forward to a new adventure, even though the new adventure is somewhat undecided. The only thing I do know is that I do have time to make more content for you guys. So that's positive, and we're going to see where that will bring us. But let's talk about the much more fun thing, that's yarn, because I've progressed on my Fleur. As always, we go through the projects in the order that I am working on them, in the sense of when I started working on them, and they always, like, a new project goes back in the queue. If it's finished, if I have any finished items, we'll talk about those first, but I do not have any finished items for this week's yarn talk. I do have a few changes to plans, and we'll talk about those as they come out throughout this video. But let's start with the fact that I actually did good progress on Fleur since last week. I'm working with a 4mm crochet hook in DK weight yarns. Not that much left because we are now at round 43 of 47. So I'm going to do a round of white, a round of Bordeaux, and a round of white. And then I'm actually unsure if the round 47 is going to be Bordeaux. I have to read. I think it is. And then 49 is going to be the red. And added 3 rounds since last time. And that, my friends, has made it look like this. Isn't this just getting gorgeous? It's almost not able to be okay. I'm gonna turn it 1/4 because that's easier, or I'll have to unwind the yarns too much. And then I'm going to move a little bit back so you can actually easier see it here. Hallelujah. This is where we have it. At round 43, it's really starting to work up nicely, I think. And soon, as also mentioned, we have to change color. A while ago, a bit more than a month ago, I bought some yarn holders that I wanted to see if that could actually help me when I was working on this blanket to help kind of keep track of the yarns. You have seen the reviews also I made on them, like, you know, these kind of yarn holders. It's a spin that goes on another spin, and they turn really, really smoothly. And I tried with these on, and they just kind of collapse. And then I realized, Tina, you're doing it wrong. So when I need to start work on the next color here, or change yarn, because there's still some white left, so it's not ready to be changed yet, but the red is really getting close. Of course, I never wound up these as cakes, I just put them as skeins. What I have to do is I have to take the skein and I have to wind it up as a cake, because then it goes easy on that spin without kind of collapsing. So that's what I have to do before starting on the next color or the next skein, is I have to cake it up. Hello. Why did I not think about that when I was testing it out? That's the reason for it being a bit funky. But I really like how this is actually working out. And yeah, 3 more rows. You can actually really see the difference this time around. So that's nice. I'm really pleased with that progress. I really am. Also because, as I said to you a couple of times here recently, I'm getting to a stage where I cannot always, when I start working on it, ensure that I finish around. Purely because the rounds are increasing in the size every round. Like, it's 2 stitches per side, so that's 8 stitches in total each round, that I have more to do. If we should have a look at the back side, so the negative side, so to say, this is where it is. And you can also see here it is a clear reverse version of the pattern. And the only thing you can see, of course, is where here I keep trailing the yarn up. And one can then argue if I should just keep the blanket as is with its negative side, or if I should consider sewing on a piece of cloth or linen or fleece or something like that to actually make a back side of the blanket, and then like have a nice front side, which is a pattern, and then a more like a linen or cloth or fleece or something like that on the back. But that's not something I've decided on yet at all. It's just right now I just want to finish it up, which is quite a bit to go because it's 129 rows in this pattern and I'm only at 43. So I have some work to do still. So not in a hurry, just working on it when I have time. And as I mentioned, it is a table project. I need my table to actually work on this project because point one, it's slowly getting bigger, but also it's easier to keep track basically because I have patterns laid out and it's a bit of counting work and so on. Mosiac Crochet, and this is an overlay style in the round. It sounds very intimidating, but it's not. So if you haven't tried it yet, don't fret, just like chill and take it step by step. I'm surprised how little I've frogged this. I have only one mistake in the whole project, which I will have to actually look carefully to find. And I haven't frogged it because I decided this is how the god of crochet intended it to be. Yeah, so I'm kind of happy with the progress I'm booking on the Fleur, like 43. I did not last week expect that I would have made 3 rounds on it for this week, but I did have some extra time this weekend and I definitely poured that into the cardigan of the Mosaic blanket here. Fleur is designed by Anke Wintermans. Anke Wintermans is a Dutch crochet designer. You will find her patterns on Ravelry. She has lots of gorgeous Mosaic crochet patterns on Ravelry. And of course, I've linked to that here down below to where I got this pattern. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Let's see. I have a few things found because a few things are going on. Let's see if I can actually get this out without wrecking it all. So I am working on the Firefly Sweater, which is basically not really the Firefly Sweater anymore. I have taken my inspiration from the Firefly Sweater posted on Hobby. It's a free pattern on Hobby. That said, I'm deviating from it. I'm using different yarns. I'm making it longer, and now I've actually gotten into a new stage where I'm like, I need to deviate again. So I think fundamentally it was more like an inspiration source, but I'm doing it differently. It's crocheted from side to side. You have a front panel. I have a back panel, which I finished last week. You saw that. And I'm going to look into as how to add the arms. And then I was reading the pattern and it basically said, please, 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 like block it before and then sew it together, then you add the arms. And when I was reading that piece on adding the arms, it sounds like they're actually crocheting them around the arm and sewing those together and then sewing them on the project, which I'm like, that's a lot of sewing. Plus, isn't it so much nicer, now you see the stitches go this direction, to actually also crochet those on the sleeves, or in any case, if they are going to be sewn on, do ensure that the stitches are kind of the same direction. Plus the benefit of working the round is that I don't have to sew them together. Plus, if I feel like increasing or decreasing, it's so much easier for me to do. So I think that's what I'm going to be doing. But I still want to block this first and sew the pieces together so I have a vest. So I only need to work on the arms from there. I think that is going to be easier. It needs blocking because it will stretch a bit and give me a little bit more room as a person, because right now it is towards the slight smaller size than what I had expected it to be, or maybe it just looks like it. But what's going to happen first before I'm proceeding on this is it has to get blocked, and I just have more time to block and do precision work like this when I am out of my real job. So when I am going on a good 5 weeks vacation, literally 5 weeks vacation that I will be spending here at home, sorting stuff, spending time relaxing, spending time crocheting, spending time going to the stores, spending time figuring out what I'm gonna do next, just spending time being me. The latter I'm really going to look forward to, because it's really been a hamster wheel the last couple of years, and my work has, while it has given me a nice amount of money, of course, it's been a bit of a grind, and it can be done differently, and I want to do it differently if I can. So there are things we're working on there. Another reason for the deciding of coming to the Firefly sweater is this is the longest that's supposed to be the sleeve, and if I hold that up on my arm, it goes to here. So that's not really adding up, and then it's still like in the round. So I'm kind of probably going to frog this chain, and as I said, maybe even crochet them on instead of actually crocheting a loose sleeve. That's probably going to be the more safe option. It is though, when crocheting them on, gonna be a much harder work. Or it could be that I count stitches and I end up crocheting in the round and then sewing it on with single crochets. Optional, because then I don't have the whole piece I need to move around. I realized that when I was working on the Oasis cardigan, then when you're crocheting on the arms, it was really unhandy doing that on the whole project as you had it in your hands. So maybe sewing is needed. Well, obviously it's needed for the sides, like so I have to sew it here and I have to sew it down the sides. But can I get around sewing the arms on or not sewing the arms on? That is what I have to find out. But that is for another good day. So what's gonna happen with the Firefly sweater is I'm basically going to put it into my pile of whips, which is not a pile at all, because you see all my whips here. I don't have any extra piles stashed away currently. Now I am going to have my first, I wouldn't say forgotten whip, but work in progress that's definitely unfinished, that's waiting for when time's right. So it's going to be stashed away for about a month, and then we will revert back to talking about it. So you might miss out on it, and then it's not because I finished it, it's just because it's postponed till October. And yeah, what did I then do? Wednesday, I worked on my Thoughts of Ireland shawl. The Thoughts of Ireland shawl is made in the DROPS Alpaca. I work with a 3.25mm hook. I do have a couple of extra skeins here to add on. working on my second skein right now. So we are a bit more than a skein and a bit in to this project. It is a circular shawl. It's 100% alpaca. So this yarn is 100% alpaca. Gorgeous. Very thin yarn. And it's the color, I do believe it's called Olive. Bit heathered, like hay yellow heathered in. Bit like my shirt, but not much of it. It would go really well together actually. But here we have it. I added another 2 rows, where one of the rows was a crap ton of bubble stitches. So this is where we are now. And as you can see, the second last row here was bubble stitches, and there was a lot of them. And these bubble stitches are, how I made them were, I worked in a double crochet without pulling through the last 2 loops. Then I made a treble crochet pulling through the first 2 loops, not pulling through the third. Made 2 more treble crochets in the same way. So I had a bunch of loops on the hook. And then I made a last double crochet pulling through the first 2, and then the last pull through, I pull through all of the loops on the hook, which is sort of crocheting them all in together. So it's not like a real bubble stitch, because you would like not pull through part of it. It's more like a crocheted 2 double and 3 trebles crocheted together in one. But it looks like a bubble. So that is the progress made on this gorgeous friend. And it still needs blocking when we get there. But it is progressing quite nicely, I would say. But I still think this project is gonna look best once blocked. And I need some woolen soap for that, or wash for the blocking to make that best possible. I have to go check the stores out on that account. I do believe they have some specific for wool only here. Yeah, so that's progressing well, and it's probably gonna get more of my attention because, as said, we are not working on the Firefly Sweater, so I do have more time to focus on specifics. And I think, you know, the Thoughts of Ireland is something I'd still like to get finished within reasonable time. So yeah, I'm likely going to put more efforts into that as of now. I just realized I mixed around. I should have talked about the Aikor Shawl before the Thoughts of Ireland, but I hope you can live with it. I did start them though very close to one another. There might have been a week between at best, or 2, but they were pretty close to one another, so I really hope that you can bear with me on that account. Or did I start on that first? I don't remember anymore. I will know if I look through my notes. Embarrassing, but I did start them very close to one another, that's for sure. The Aikor Shawl is progressing nicely. I'm using a 3.5mm hook for this. This is what I have left of the cake. This is a YarnArt Rosegarden cake, absolutely gorgeous in these green colors, but it's actually green to brown. It had a brown outer edge, which is the very bottom. And the pattern of this, it's a bit like filet crochet, and the pattern of this is Christmas trees. I actually realized that I'm not even finished the last row. Embarrassing. So this is kind of where we are at, but I did add another about 3 repeats to this, and a repeat is 6 rows. You can easily, if I hold it up, actually it might be easier to see on the darker ends, on the darker. That there are these sort of Christmas trees on the pattern. Guess it's just because I really don't have the best shirt on to compare it against, but let's see, like this. See, there are Christmas trees here. It needs blocked, and it looks much better when it's blocked. The Aikor Shawl, I don't know if it's designed with Christmas in mind, but the yarns that's used with the original pattern is the Hobby Universe Christmas yarns. I made that last winter. I made the pattern with the yarns exactly used for the pattern, even the same colorway, and I think it looks gorgeous. I actually brought it with me here today because last time a few ones mentioned that they would want to see it, so I'll find it. I did make some shots on it as well, also wearing it, but the thought was that because we are going from brown to green on this whole piece, it made really, really good sense starting from brown and then go up, because the trunks of the trees are brown, but the crowns are green. So this is my autumn spring scarf, I guess, related to Christmas trees. But as I said, I did make it in the Hobby Universe last year, and I blocked it, and this needs blocking too, because and you can easily see that when I'm like holding it up like this, you can see how it fringes. It just needs blocking, and it looks so much nicer. And the same went for this actually. When it got blocked, it really, really helped the pattern pop forth. So that will be how it looks on its own, in a nice sparkly shine, just repeating itself all the way down. Maybe a bit too warm today to wear a scarf, but the idea of it, and that you can see it here, it looks really nice when blocked. And I use the same amount of repeating patterns sideways, so this should be equally wide, at least based on the beginning. And as I said, I really, you know, it really needs some blocking, because right now it's just crinkling up, but you know, it can stretch both ways. So that is what's going to happen. But yeah, this is 2 cakes of Hobby's Christmas Universe Christmas yarns. And that's 1 cake of YarnArt Rosegarden, which is 100% cotton cake, 250 grams to 1,000 meters, very similar to Hobby's Sultan Deluxe. And again, this is my couch project. It's my easy work, no mind project, etc. You have probably seen me work on this from time to time as well. I'm looking forward for it to be done. Definitely do. So now when what we're going to do was, now when I had to put the Firefly Sweater bit on the waiting position, was I was like, okay, we're getting closer to October. October is the month of Halloween. Maybe I should start. I wanted to make the Lost Souls shawl, because I had a black yarn where I was like, okay, that's perfect for this, because we have Lost Souls and black and Halloween. It kind of matches together if you want to make a shawl with these skulls on it. And I found the yarn, and I put that nicely in my bag, because in that sense it's a project bag. Let's see if I can actually get them out here. So I have 9 balls of these yarn. 9. It's a Fonty Bamboo. It's a French yarn, and it is 100% bamboo viscose. So it's made from the tree viscose from the bamboo. They are 50 grams, so 1.75 ounces to 95 meters of yarn. So that's like 105-ish yards. They recommend 3 to 3.5 millimeter crochet hook. Can be washed up to 30 degrees. Can be ironed at low. Can be dry cleaned. Do not bleach. And it's made in France, basically. That's pretty much it, what this label tells us. The Fonty Bamboo. When I look it up on the website, I got this in a really good deal from Facebook Marketplace. It was a part of that. I had no clue what these yarns were. I got them in my hands and they felt nice, and I just stashed them away, being like, I need to find a project for these black yarns. Thought I had found the perfect project, because that was my plan until earlier this week. Yeah, I know. I changed plans. Awesome yarn. It's like €6.50 per ball, actually. If I were to buy new ones, except they don't have black anymore either. I decided I had to swatch it because I needed to know what crochet hook size should I use before actually starting on a project. So I did make a very, very small mini swatch of 2 rows of 10 double crochets, just to get an idea. And this is with a 3.75mm hook that I ended up using. I think it looks quite nice. And you know what? The problem is, after I swatched up and felt how this texture is, I'm like, this feels so gorgeous. I want not a shawl of it. I want a summer top for myself. But it has to be postponed out in the future as well, because I do have a few plans. So, you know, as I mentioned at some stage, this job that I currently have has been nice in the sense of it's provided me money, but it's also been rather unhealthy for me, because I've been a lot less active in so many aspects, and it's bound me to my PC that I can now go out and be active again and hopefully shred a few of my extra kilos. I've gained quite a bit of weight since the COVID period, and it's also about the same time when I actually really started doing more for this project. It's been 3 years, a bit more than 3 years, 3.5 years. Looking at the change in me for that period, it's definitely for the best that I'm going to do something else. I just don't know what yet, but I hope that's going to be healthier for me as well. And with more content for you guys. But as I said, I want to make a summer top of this. I only have 9 balls. So, and I also want, because I put in effort into it, I want to wait making it until I'm certain that what I want to do, which is basically lose some weight and be more active again, is actually going to work out. Because I don't want a top that's too big for me, nor would I want one that's too small for me. So it is postponed a bit. It's not taking up a lot of room, so I just postponed the project a bit with these absolutely gorgeous yarn, because this feels so amazing. I cannot describe it further. It's 100% bamboo yarn, and it's just so ever soft. Like, really. Yes, please. Not much more to say. I have to save you, my friends, for a much funner project. And then they basically, the 9 balls went back to the bag, and I will need to have a real project bag for them. I do tend to, like what you noticed when I was talking about the thoughts of Highland Sweater earlier in this video, is that I do tend to have these plastic bag for specific projects, and I'm going to find a plastic bag for these guys because I know that means that I have some special plans for them. I haven't found the pattern I want to use for it yet, but I'm probably doing some sort of raglan styled tank top, or very short sleeved or edged top, straight up down. That is what I'm currently thinking on. And then if I want to add more sleeves, and that would depend on how much yarn I have left, how many rounds should I be able to add, for example. As I said, first I just need to ensure that I have what I really want to do work-wise with this. But I'm thinking of some sort of raglan for sure to do this top in. Yeah, that means that the project I wanted to start on, it's not gonna happen, is it? No, it's not. Well, it is, but with different yarns. I think that's fair to say. Then I've been debating on, and I've been looking through other yarns I have and said, okay, what can I make with these? Can I make something with them? And actually find some former leftover yarns from a project I worked on 1.5 years ago. And I still have these yarns in my stash and I don't know what to use them for, and they're still laying there, and they will keep laying there until I use them for something. I have been debating, and I think I'm gonna go through with that, is to put those 3 yarns together and simply make hats, maybe. They're 100% recycled acrylic. There are always people out there that could use a good hat. And that's probably what I'm gonna be making of these. Maybe I could make a shirt or sweater or something like that, but I have other yarns for that as well. So I think I'm just gonna double them together, or maybe work all 3 together, and then make some sort of a hat. And when I'm gonna start on those, I don't know either, but within reasonable time, I would say. And then see how many I can make. 2, maybe, at best. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I am gonna give it a try, because, you know, they're just laying there in my stockpile and I'm not using them. I used to have a pink, but there was a person on the Facebook group that was looking for that exact pink and that exact dye lot and couldn't find it, and she only needed a little bit, which fit with about the little bit I had left. So I actually ended up sending that to her if she paid the shipping costs. So I did. Nice of me. Because I hope that if I do nice things to people, that eventually karma smiles back to me. Understand it by this: if I, in the supermarket, stand in the queue and let somebody with just 2 pieces in front of me in the queue, and I have a whole wagon of groceries, then maybe another time, if I only have to have 2 or 3 pieces in the supermarket, another person with a full wagon of groceries will let me in front of them. That's the idea, especially if you do have time. And now I just want to maybe just make some hats out of these, double layering them. I've been thinking about it for a while, I just haven't gotten around it, and maybe now it's a time, because I do have some time in between these projects and it's something that's more simple to do. The last thing I've been considering, and we talked about last week actually, because I finished this absolutely gorgeous bag, is that I want to make a second of them. And I do have, if we're looking away for the very little bit I had left after playing yarn chicken, I have exactly 3 skeins, which is exactly enough to make a copy of this, right? What I did debate on was actually to make a copy of this, but maybe making it run round, like 1 increase less in the bottom. So I have a little bit more yarn to make the strap. I think that would be nicer for me. That was my thinking. Just to add a few rows, not much, just to add a few rows. Maybe that will be enough. Or maybe I'll just make another copy of it. But that was my thoughts. And then obviously I don't need 2, so I'll probably put one of them up for sale when I decide which I'd rather want. So yeah, that's another thing I've been debating on. So if you suddenly see me working on this again, you know why. It's because I still have those 3 skeins left and I don't know what to use them with. And it's, you know, I can use them with this because I think this bag turned out so gorgeous. I'm really happy with this bag, how it turned out. So why not make an extra? The only thing I really wished to have was a little bit, like a few more rounds on the strap, that it could hang a little bit lower when you're using it. Because when it's equal here, it starts already here. So I guess I wish it was just hanging 2 or 3 centimeters lower. That's it. It's not much. And I could easily obtain that, obviously, by, if I, with the yarn I have left, do 1 less increase on the bottom. Yes, it will be a little bit smaller for the content, but not much. But I will also use a little bit less yarns, obviously, when working around. Then, in that sense, I should also just have a little bit less need for when I'm making the straps. And I could do just a few more rounds of these and it would be perfect. That's my thought. But when I'll start on that, I don't know what I'll start on first of these two projects, but that is what I'm thinking on starting on next to everything else that I do have ongoing. But more because then, you know, it's projects that I can easily work on, and that's probably also going to be quickly finished, at least. That's the beginning thought of it. I think we're coming here to the end. On Monday, I will be back with you for another left-handed tutorial. As again, it's one of my many tutorials. Well, not that many yet, but we are working on it. But I am currently rewording my tutorials into a left-hand side. It is the happiness puncher that's going to come in left on Monday. On Wednesday, I will be back with a new morning live video here on the channel. That's a plan, at least. And then Friday, we'll be back with a new yarn talk video. On Monday, I might, but undecided yet, make a pop-up live in the afternoon US, so that's in the evening EU. As I said, undecided, but don't be surprised if it comes. Be happy if it comes, I guess. But I might do that. And except for that, yeah, I'm going to see you next week. So I'm going to say, take care, everyone. Stay healthy and happy crafting until I see you again. Bye.